guys, welcome back to reviews and recaps. Let's get into today's video. Today's probably going to be a quick one. I want to talk about Maurice and I want to talk about Kimmi. I will sprinkle a little bit about Tisha and Marsau in it, but my focus is on Kimmi and Maurice's dynamic. Maurice is the example of what happens when you marry a man that is not a protector. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Now let's get into it. For those of you who have seen the latest episode or like a few clips on the internet, you guys would have seen that there was a scene with Maurice, Kimmi, Marsau, and Tisha. Now, have you noticed, and this is something that Queen Sheba said, and I noticed it, it's almost like every time there is Tisha, there is Marsau, every time it's almost like the Scotts are pairing up to try to make some money. But anyways, that's by the way. So Maurice, Tisha, Kimmi and Marsau were having a conversation. So to give a bit of context, it was looking like they were trying to build some properties together. Now, they didn't give us the full ins and outs on that, but what we do see is that Kimmi does not really seem keen to work with Marsau and Tisha. Now, she does talk about the fact that a lot of the things and the projects that they were doing in the past use the example of a project with her mom, I believe, or mother-in-law, and how that took so long to complete, and how she kept having to text or message Marsau to find out what was going on, and it was constantly getting on Marsau's nerves, right? So she talked about that. This is the part that I really wanted to talk about. Maurice had the gall, the audacity to basically say that Kimmi is going to make Tisha and Marsau compete. So they have to put a bid like everyone else, and then she would have to pick. And I'm just like, what is wrong with Kimmi trying to make sure that you guys are good? If they have alleged shady business practices, or they do not do things as early enough, as on time as you need it to be done, why wouldn't you want them to bid for the contract like everyone else and then choose the best person for the job? What is wrong with that? Just because you're a family does not mean that I should hand over projects to you. You have to be able to earn those projects. So I'm not against bidding at all. But the angle at which I really want to talk about today is the fact that Maurice, instead of covering his wife, decided to say, she's going to make you compete. I'm like, what kind of man are you? Where is the protection? Where is the covering? You guys make joint decisions. Are you not man enough to stand in the decision that you guys have made? Like, why are you coming out here and exposing Kimmi as the one who made the decision? If you are going to be sitting and communicating the decision to another couple, that means it's a joint decision. So you cannot sit in front of these people's faces and then say she's the one that is making you all do it. No, that is terrible. That is another example of Maurice failing to cover his wife. Now, we're not surprised, because if you look at the show, and a lot of times Maurice is constantly throwing Kimmi under the bus, all up under the bus, constantly. There is no protection for her. Even remember the example he gave when she was going through chemotherapy and lost her hair, talking about the fact that, she's now finally growing hair. And before he was saying like she doesn't have hair for a Jeep or something along those lines. Who says that? The only person that does that is someone who is an op. Imagine a husband being an op. Like, that is crazy. And the fact that like you're going to sit next to your wife, and then, if you notice, he put his hand on her thigh whilst giving that BS that, she's making you guys compete. Like, are you not assertive enough to stand up and say, this is the decision that we've made as a family? Why do you have to cower behind your wife? I personally believe this is this is my personal opinion, I believe that Maurice is the example of what happens when you marry a man that is not assertive. What happens when you marry a man that is not a protector? What happens when you marry a man that is not a provider? He sits down, communicates the decision, and then blames you for the decision. It's like, dude, we could have hashed it out privately, right? And then we come out with a united front. Instead, he comes out and embarrasses his wife. If it was the first time, maybe people would have given him a little bit of a pass. But because it happened so many times, it is obvious that he just does not protect her. Think about the different jokes that he made. And this is a woman going through cancer, going through a lot of changes in her body. Think about the insensitivity when it came to the sex issue. And like, that is not someone that you should be standing and be like, oh, that's my man, my man, my man. The man that can't even cover you. The man that cannot even, like, so now, what if the Scots 1.0 or whatever, took it and they were upset that, oh, Kimmi, and had something against Kimmi? Then you're causing issues for her in the relationship, in the family dynamic. Why would you want to put your wife through that? Even if your wife made it a point and said, you must do it. You go out there, if it's a joint decision and you've agreed to it, you go out there, stand in front of them and say, well, guys, this is what this is, but you guys are going to have to compete and we'll have to make the decision. That's it. United front, not coming out and doing nonsense. Now, let me say this. An example of a couple on the show that present a united front is Stormy and Courtney. Now, I know a lot of people don't really see it for them. They say they're boring and all that kind of stuff. And all those things could be true. But when it comes to presenting a united front, they present a united front. You have issue with my wife, you have an issue with me. And it comes across as always trying to cover her and protect her. That is what a husband should do. Not sell you out in front of you. Like, even behind you, that's not right. But in front of you, that is diabolical. So next time you want to date or marry a man that is not a protector and is so quick to throw you under the bus, remember the story. Remember what you're seeing with Maurice and Kimmi. It's not worth it. That man going to embarrass you. He's going to put you out for the whole world to see. Nobody deserves that. Now, Kimmi was very shady in her confessionals per usual. Kimmi was literally saying, well, Scott Manor is not finished. The strip mall is not finished yet. She was listing projects, honey. And she was super shady. I wonder how the Scott 1.0 felt watching that back. Kimmi is one of those ones you gotta watch. She acts nice, but she is a snake and she stays slithering. Like, I would say Kimmi is one to watch. At least with Tisha, you know where she stands. But Kimmi, yeah, nah. Although Tisha has her fake moments, but generally, Tisha is all right compared to Kimmi. I would rather Tisha than Kimmi any day, anytime. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. Don't forget to like, share, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.